Peacemaker Season 2 was straight cinema, and Superman was like genuinely one of the greatest movies of the year. So suffice to say, I'm quite excited for this new DCU on the horizon. The next series we're getting is Lanterns, and I'm actually starting to get excited for it. Green Lantern is probably one of the most underappreciated heroes to me though. Having the ability to create light constructs of literally anything your brain can think of, plus flight, plus being powered by straight willpower is so fire. And they actually have a reasonable drawback slash weakness with the rings needing to be charged. Green Lantern is literally DC's most creative hero when writers lock in. But the sun really might be coming up on these characters, because we got the Lantern series coming up, a new My Adventures show, and if it's anything like My Adventures with Superman, we can expect some flames out of this. And Guy Gardner was actually such a fun part of Superman. The damage done by that doo-doo 2011 movie is finally wearing off, and it's time for the Green Lantern redemption arc. Green Lantern is not a character I'm usually thinking of, but whenever one is on screen and in focus, I'm always happy to see them go crazy. There's something so beautiful about there being so many human Green Lanterns, because we literally have the power of the indomitable human spirit on our side. Willpower is literally in our veins. I really hope we get to lean into that good and Lagan ass optimism whenever we see the Lanterns again. I feel like that's something My Adventures with Green Lantern could really lean into, because My Adventures with Superman had hella shonen undertones to it. When I was a kid, the Blue Lanterns were always my favorite, because being powered by hope is really cool narratively and thematically, but they literally get a boost from being around Green Lanterns, dude. That's so tough. Naturally, hope is gonna be boosted with the power of will. It just makes sense. Granted, blue's not even a color I really like all that much, but the idea of being powered by hope is just so cool. Yellow's my actual goat, but I'm not trying to be represented by no Sinestro Corps. I'm good off that. Also, is it true that the Green Lantern's weakness is literally the color yellow, or is it just the Sinestro Corps specifically? Cause what? If the color yellow is truly their weakness, bruh, all of them need a water exclusive diet. I don't know why pace was my first thought. Keep it pushing, my fault. Out of all the protagonist Green Lanterns, I'd probably say John Stewart is my GOAT, but outside of the DC animated universe, I feel like I don't really know that much about him. Granted, he did have a lot of time to shine in the 2 series he did show up in. First of all, his suit is immaculate. Green Lantern suits could all look the exact same if they wanted, but I like how each Lantern has subtle variations to their uniforms that give them more personality. I heard that John Stewart hasn't worn gloves with his suit in like 20 years because he literally wanted to take the gloves off and get his hands intimate and dirty while trying to fix a conflict between humans and aliens on some side quest. I never even noticed his lack of gloves before hearing about that, but that's such an interesting origin for such a tiny little detail about the character and that design specifically. Although the black gloves in the DC animated universe are still cool as hell to me. That Bruce Timm art style really suits him especially. The Dorito build works on him, not gonna lie. His green ass eyes are always gonna be a little funny to me though. He dead looks like that one Blue Eye meme. Yo, close them shits, please. Nah, I'm playing. He was a Marine before being chosen by his power ring, so I imagine a lot of his constructs are along those lines of military type beat. But I know in the DCAU he's also kind of a comic nerd, so maybe there's more inspiration there. I don't know. I did also hear that he was an architect though, so maybe in some stories he's an architect, maybe in some stories he has more of a military Marine type background. Who knows? Architects sound kind of cool to me though, I'm not gonna lie. An architect Green Lantern, that means every construct he makes gotta be on some like mathematical type. That's kind of cool. He's kind of stern in the first series, but he loosens up a lot in Unlimited. His relationship with Wally in this universe was so wholesome too, dog. It was on some Luffy Ace big bro timing. You love to see it. There's some people who have some issues with the ships in the DCAU, but because I grew up on them, I kind of love them a lot to this day. Batman and Wonder Woman is kind of slept on, not gonna lie. From my rose tinted lens, Batman and Wonder Woman was like just such a fun pairing of 2 characters. Huntress and Question is a pairing from this universe I feel like is actually slept on though. Those 2, magnificent. Also, shout out to Question in general. I know this is a super side note, but if there's a character whose literal whole thing is being a detective, Batman cannot allow to be called the greatest detective in the world. No. Batman cannot just be good at everything. No. Give that his title. I'm sorry. Give the Question that title, please. Look at the hat. He's a detective. I don't see Batman wearing no hat. But John Stewart's relationship with Hawkgirl and Vixen were extremely interesting. I know Shira slamming out the Justice League at the end of the first series had to hurt for him especially, but he did find it in his heart to forgive her eventually. This series was also my introduction to Vixen, as she is an absolute GOAT. We need her in the DCAU, please. She's like the closest DC has to T'Challa in my eyes. I don't even want to do the comparison game. She's fire in her own right, but shout out Vixen. I'm really glad it seems like John Stewart's gonna be the primary Green Lantern in the DCU. Well, I guess guys, guys there too, but we're not really taking this motherfucker that serious, right? The idea of aging Hal Jordan up is kind of neat, and the actor that got to play him genuinely looks like him too. It's kind of crazy. If you ask me to picture Hal Jordan in like X amount of years, it's literally this dude. I think the greatest Hal Jordan I ever bore witness to was in the Green Lantern animated series that came out a while back. Who remember DC Nation, dog? Cartoon Network was in a bag for that segment. But the Green Lantern animated series had a lot of goats spread across the whole series. Kilowog is a Green Lantern staple character who's like always there, but I feel like he really got to shine in this series. His suit being more armored than a lot of the other Green Lanterns is so tough too. Also, I just learned that he's like one of the like main instructors of New Lanterns, so he's responsible for like training a lot of Green Lanterns. I never knew that this whole time. Hey, Kilowog, maybe you a goat after all. Coach Kilowog, that's kind of cool. This series also did the Harley Quinn X-23 thing where they introduced a couple brand new original characters that become big mainstays in the franchise. Granted, I don't know that much about Green Lantern, so I don't know how much these two stuck for real, but Aya and Razor were legendary. Both of their separate arcs were fire, but the development of their relationship was so good too. Although I guess the relationship together also helped them develop as individuals too. Razor going from angry, violent Red Lantern to hopeful, honorable, redeemed legend was excellent, bro. The super eyeliner is tough too. I know Gar would be proud. I remember liking Aya a lot more than I thought I would too. She's low-key like if Vision or Jarvis belonged to the Green Lantern Corps, except she's not entirely robot, and she's actually maybe partially the living conscious of the XXL power battery they got on their home base, Oa. Side note, Oa is a fire name for a living planet. Kinda reminds me of Ego. Josh Keaton, Hal Jordan was such a blessing too. Every character that man voices is an auto gold, not gonna lie. That's still my Peter Parker to this day. And he's actually a really good Iron Man too. Guy Gardner was once again a dickhead in this series also. I think it's funny that even when Guy Gardner doesn't have the bowl cut, then he still look dumb as hell. It's just fitting. Guy Gardner just always looks dumb, right? He looks stupid. That bald fade do not work on him. God, is this racist? Hello? That's not even a bald fade. That's just bald and then hair. I really love how he is in the DCU though. Like he's still a dickhead, but he's also funny in the sense that we're laughing at this nigga. I'm sorry, but the collared suit is actually so hard though. I can't lie. This might actually be top 3 Green Lantern suits if you ignore them up wearing it. Like if you just cover his face, it's kind of clean. The collar plus vest cut off. Guy Gardner, look, you kind of suck a lot, but you low-key got that shit on though. I can't lie, you got this shit on. I know so little about Kyle Rayner, but I think it's funny that all I hear about him is that he's either almighty cracked and busted, or he's like super depressed, or maybe both. The writers love putting this man in the shadow realm of straight suffering. His suit is elite too. Oh my goodness. The white box in the middle with the bigger, more armored looking domino mask, plus the half split lantern emblem is so clean. Also, the fact that he's an artist literally puts him as a contender for one of my Green Lantern goats off rip. Kyle Rayner is an artist? That's all you had to say. Why wouldn't you give these power rings to people with creative brains, dog? It's literally the nigga job to make cool looking shit. Tell me why I seen a spread of him in a whole ass Gundam neck, dude. Oh my goodness. Yeah, maybe John Stewart, not my goal. Hold on, Kyle Rayner, welcome aboard. I ain't gonna lie, welcome aboard. Why has Kyle Rayner not been more things? Hello? Put that in some adaptations. How the f did this man master every single type of power ring though? Who are you? The entire emotional spectrum is just at his fingertips. Is that not crazy? We really do need an adaptation of this character. Preferably an animation, dog. Imagine the limitless possibilities that medium would bring to a character like this. Creativity is literally his whole thing. And honestly, it low-key just makes so much sense for like the live action DCU Green Lantern to be John Stewart, the more military slash maybe architect brained individual who's very much more calculated in his constructs, and then boom, take it over to animation and Kyle Rayner is like our main Green Lantern. Picture it. Picture all of the crazy things he could accomplish with the power of animation. It honestly wouldn't even make sense for Kyle Rayner to be live action, because it's like, look, they would just sell the nigga. Like he would just be hold, bro. They would just sell him short. Like with all the possibilities that Kyle Rayner is capable of, whether it be all of the crazy, creatively, artistically inclined constructs he could make, having access to all the emotional spectrum, like all of that could just work so much better in animation, bro. That shit would be beautiful, especially if Lanterns is supposed to be more grounded, which could be awesome. But then let's kick it over to animation and give Kyle Rayner some love. Like, look, my adventures with Green Lantern, maybe just have him show up, do something. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Give Kyle Rayner some love. You know he needed it. All I know about him is that he's sad as hell. And the fact that he's a manga fan too is just so crazy. And like, speaking of that good and Logon optimism, imagine him and another Lantern using on some Megazord, good and Logon Voltron timing and making a super Green Lantern mech. Yo, let me not even, hey, put me in these writer rooms. I'm kidding. Keep me out these writer rooms. Unless. Peacemaker Season 2 and Superman have got me really excited for the future of this new universe, and I really want to see what happens with this Lantern series. Seeing Guy again is gonna be mad fun, and I'm curious as to what his role is gonna be, because he's the only Green Lantern that's specifically affiliated with any teams on Earth, right? I wonder how he's gonna bounce off Hal and John too. Hey, maybe we even get a little Kyle Rayner in there too? Question mark? Maybe? Possibly? I think this series is supposed to be more grounded, so I really wonder what that looks like when our main characters are glowing green space guardians. I personally think it's gonna be fantastic. At least I hope. I mean, everything we've gotten in this universe so far has been straight peak. Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz are two other human Green Lanterns I got almost zero idea about, but they both have some S-tier designs. Jessica Cruz's lantern-shaped eye patch mask thingy on her face is elite character design. Come on. She also became a Yellow Lantern at one point? Question mark. Remember that time they made Supergirl a Red Lantern, dude? That was actually so cool to me. She was tweaking out, seeing straight red. Simon Baz having the full face mask is so tough too, but why is this nigga holding a regular ass gun, dog? You are a Green Lantern. Make some up or something. I'm sure there's a plot reason for that, but really. Also, literally being powered by Will is the most shonest ever in the best way possible. I love it. I'm really curious to see what they do with my adventures with Green Lantern. I know Jessica Cruz is gonna be the main character, and I'm assuming it's the same universe as Superman series. This series gotta explore the other Lantern Corps, because some of those other ones get insane. Shout out the Sinestro Corps, the Blue Lanterns, the Star Sapphires, etc, etc. I know the Nova Corps is like Marvel's equivalent to the Lanterns, but based on everything I know about them, all they got are clean costumes, and that's it. The Lanterns clear them in damn near every single way, and I'm not gonna lie, Sam Alexander is doing a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of those clean ass costumes. His Nova costume is one of one. I also forgot to mention the OG Green Lantern, Alan Scott. I don't know anything about him other than the fact that his fit is not no Green Lantern fit. They got him in red and all type of other stuff, and they got a cape on. I like the cape, but a Green Lantern wearing red is crazy. Shout out Alan Scott though. He paved the way on some Jay Garrick timing, on some Ted Cord timing. Also, the Absolute DC Universe has been going insane. Shout out Absolute Green Lantern. I don't know a lot about Absolute Green Lantern. She looks phenomenal. I don't know anything about her story or what's happening, but shout out Absolute Green Lantern. All of my Absolute DC knowledge is really just about the Trinity, and it's really mainly only about Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman. Absolute Batman and Wonder Woman are going insane. Absolute Superman looks great. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, DC in they bag, bro. DC in they bag. Absolute Wonder Woman especially phenomenal. I need to see an adaptation of this whole universe at some point, please. Absolute Batman too. Yo, Absolute Batman's been insane. I know y'all seen that Joker design. What they're doing with the Joker outside of that cracked ass design is so interesting too, but that's for another video. But yeah, shout out Green Lantern and shout out you.
I can't feel my face right now, I'm burning up. I got this feeling that I won't come down, like, got this feeling that I won't come down, like, got this feeling that I won't come down.